What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me on these analysis. We're going to be looking at Tesla stock today, ticker symbol TSLA. So here on the monthly, you can see we had a nice move here off of this upward sloping trend line. We've had a couple touches along the way, and we were breaking support and resistance along the way, holding pretty well. We broke through this downward sloping trend line, and now we're holding well above it after getting a bounce off of that. You had confluence between this downward sloping trend line and this upward sloping trend line together, which held price up pretty well when we were sitting at that 215 region in early March and early April. So now we're sitting here at a key level of support and resistance that's been established all the way back from January 2021. We broke through, got a fake out, pushed back above, and we retested once. Looks like we got a retest now after getting a open that actually opened all the way down to 297, which was underneath this level. And now we're holding back above it at 321. So it is looking incredibly bullish. The trend's looking nice. And when we take a look at the weekly, you can see we actually closed this week right here back above. We wicked off of this level of support and pushed up higher. So this is looking very bullish. We do have some wicking action over here, but I do think once we break this level at 367, we should have a pretty clean move up to around 433. So I can see us eventually breaking this region. So maybe we chop before we finally break it. And once we break here, I think it could be, I'm not saying it's going to be for sure, it could be a clean move and a fast move to this region, maybe get some kind of resistance. We push down or push back up, something like that. But my point is after breaking this region, I think we could have a pretty fast move to the upside. It's not guaranteed, but I think we should reach that 433 region. And on the daily, we look pretty good. It was a 3.5% day today. Nice to see. Nice little trend established since July 7th. We've been rallying upward. So hopefully the trend can continue up higher. On a larger scale, you can see when you pull the fib actually up to this region, you can see we bounced off the 0.5 to the 618. Key level of support and resistance to continue the trend upward. So you can see we pushed all the way up and landed right there at the 0.5, right on the T. And now we're pushing off the 382 for extra support along the way for potentially higher prices. When we look at the monthly SMAs, we actually see the 20 just surpassed the 50, which is incredibly bullish. Last time we had the 20 surpass the 50, that's actually never even happened. So we had the 20 push away from the 50 at this point here, and that was incredibly bullish where we absolutely took off. So the 20 surpassing the 50 and pushing up higher is an incredibly bullish sign. This is a very, very strong level, and that's why I got two major wicks off of these areas here. Tried pushing with the bears and the bulls just absolutely pushed it right back up. A 20-month and a 50-month SMA is incredibly powerful. So that should support price pretty well. And that's sitting currently at 264 and the 50 sitting at 257. On the weekly, we got a bounce off the 20 and the 50. We held above the 50 and now we're continuing to move higher. On the daily, we do have a little bit of resistance on the 50, but we're holding above the 200 and the 20. We just closed today back above both of them. So if we can close back above the 50, that should free up price a little bit, and that should lessen the resistance above our head to allow a move up higher. On the weekly RSI, we're trending higher. It's creating a nice little bull flag, and it looks like we're finding support off of this yellow moving average, which is sitting around the 50 region. And now we're currently sitting at 52.66 on the RSI. Hopefully the trend can continue up higher and we can break this area right here of 59.1 and make it to the overbought territory so we can see a nice green shaded area for an overbought move and eventually have some kind of cool off period. On the daily, we fell underneath and now it looks like we're trying to have a nice little move to the upside. We bounced off the yellow moving average and we're holding above the midline. So it's kind of the same concept. I do think once we break the 59 or 60 region, it should give us a little wiggle room to push up to the 70 area, as we've seen some resistance here. It acted as resistance, support, and resistance here. So we might get a little stumble right here once we reach the 60 RSI, but I do think once we break it, it could give us a nice move to the 70 area. But the strength is looking pretty solid for Tesla at the moment. And when you take a look here at the weekly MACD, we are turning this move around. The volume has been dying out a little bit, but we are still in bullish territory, and the blue moving average is holding above the orange. Hopefully we can start to see a nice green hill like we saw over here to get an aggressive move upward and get the price shooting upward. Here on the daily, we had our red push twice actually. We're still in bearish territory, but it is starting to flip back bullish. As you can see, we have the blue that just surpassed the orange right here in this region, and we did get the green flip. So hopefully the momentum can continue up higher and we get a move like this to the upside. For Tesla's bearish scenarios, when you pull down, we bounced off this 0.5 to the 618. This is a bearish pull, so this is showing that price can continue down to the downside, and we broke above it, we bounced off of it, and now we're playing off of that region. So that's very bullish to see. That bearish zone is being used as support to continue up higher, and once we surpass this 886, that's pretty much the last line in the sand for this bearish move. And then you can also see the bearish one here playing out. So if we can surpass this region of this golden zone at the 0.618 to the 0.5 right here, that's going to also be a key level. So we want to break above that 886 and that 786 as well to eliminate the bearish bias at all. And on the larger time frame, you can see when we pull a fib from all the way down here, we bounced right off the 786, continued up higher, and we were playing around the 0.5 to the 618 before continuing up higher and then bouncing off the 382. And now we are playing with the 236, and we'll see if we can get a monthly close back above the 236, and that should allow price to continue up higher. As I said, this is a bullish pool, so these are all very, very bullish signs that we're holding these higher sequences. So hopefully the trend can continue. I do think Tesla is something that you might want to add to your portfolio long term, 5, 10, 15 years, dollar cost average in. The innovation is insane what the company is doing with the FSD, the robotics, the boring tunnel. They have so many projects, SpaceX. So they're probably the most innovative company out there at the moment. Aside from any political views and all that, just looking at the company, not who's owning the company, they're doing a lot of insane things that could shape our future and change the future. There should be a lot of money flowing through these companies. And once everything is, set up exactly how it should be with autonomous driving, the revenue will be pouring in for this company. So make sure you guys like and subscribe on these videos if you enjoy them, and I'll see you guys in the next one.